Good Tuesday evening, July 23rd, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The North Cascades Highway remained closed today as fire crews continued the difficult task of trying to contain the misleadingly named Easy Fire. The Wenatchee Police Department is circulating a photo of a man suspected of stealing a bike recently from outside the Bruce Transitional Housing facility on Palouse Street. Expect critical fire weather over the next few days with low humidity and gusty winds. Your full local forecast is straight ahead. The suspected car prowler killed Sunday by a homeowner in Omak has been identified as 33-year-old Dustin Hawk Chambers. Omak Police Chief Daniel Christensen said an investigation into the fatal shooting continues. Chambers was killed about 7:15 p.m. when he was confronted by an unidentified homeowner armed with a gun in the 400 block of Hanford Street. Christensen said a scuffle ensued in which the homeowner was attacked and knocked to the ground. He said the homeowner's domestic partner fired a shot into the ground, but Chambers continued the altercation before being shot by the homeowner. Chambers, a registered sex offender, is listed as a transient with numerous aliases. He was convicted in 2009 of indecent liberties and in 2016 on a felony charge of failing to register as a sex offender while residing on the Colville Indian Reservation. Chambers unsuccessfully appealed that conviction to the State Court of Appeals. The North Cascades Highway remained closed today as fire crews continued the difficult task of trying to contain the misleadingly named Easy Fire. Fire managers said earlier today that rolling rocks, falling trees, and active fire continue to make the Highway 20 Cross Mountain Pass too dangerous for motorists. The lightning-sparked fire started last Wednesday and is burning in dense timber with abundant dead trees and ground vegetation. The incident management team said hot, dry, and unstable weather conditions Monday led to very active fire behavior that included fire climbing from the ground to the tops of trees. The fire, which has burned about 345 acres, is about 17 miles west of Mazama and remains 0% contained. Alethea Therapeutic Riding Center has officially begun construction on its new primary arena in Sunny Slope. Alethea works with individuals with disabilities and veterans through therapeutic and adaptive horse riding, specialized services for veterans and their families, and a life skills program for young adults with disabilities. After 13 years in a residential neighborhood, the nonprofit said it's outgrown its current space on Sleepy Hollow Heights. Alethea says the new 12-acre home will enable growth, eliminate the current wait list of over 80 people, and offer year-round services. The new facility is made possible through the nonprofit's Double Capacity Capital campaign, which has raised 70% of the $6.2 million goal. Ballots began arriving in the mail this week for the August 6th primary election. Chelan County Auditor Skip Moore and Douglas County Auditor Thad Duvall told Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz there may be some confusion over county commissioner races for open seats in both counties. There are 5 candidates running for District 2 Commissioner in Douglas County and 4 candidates for District 3 Commissioner in Chelan County. But most county residents won't see those races on their ballots until the November general election.
We've got a pretty good sign campaign going on in Douglas County. People can see the commissioners that have put up signs, and so they do expect to be able to vote. But yes, it's just Commissioner District 2 that will vote on those 5 candidates to bring those down to 2 to go on to the general election.
What is the thought process behind that in the primary, that you have to physically live in that district in order to vote in that district?
Well, that's just the way the commissioner districts have been set up from as long as I've been in office. And the idea is the person that represents you in your district, you should be able to nominate them and to go to the general election. However, in the general it does change, and the whole county votes on the top 2. So it's a nominating process coming out of the primary election to winnow it down to 2. And then after that, the whole county votes on the the final two candidates in the general.
Skip, you have something similar to that in Chelan County District Number 3. Tiffany Gehring not running for re-election, and so you have 4 people fighting for 2 seats, and again, only those people in District 3, which is basically the northern part of the county,
Right.
will be voting in that.
We got 4, and just they will, and it comes back to, as Thad was saying, though they're a commissioner for the entire county, that district should have a rep. It wouldn't, it's hard to explain to somebody living in Chelan why they would be having their commissioner come from Leavenworth, let's say. So this way, at least that geographic area is representative. The commissioner or the candidate has to live within the district.
When we come back, the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery said water in the Icicle Creek has now reached the point where it's too low for floating. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Who is Brant Capel?
Brant Capel is dedicated to our community.
Who is Brant Capel?
Brant Capel has a vision for the future.
Who is Brant Capel?
Brant Capel listens to our concerns.
Who is Brant Capel? This is Ray Dobbs. I know Brant Capel, and I know he'll make an outstanding Chelan County Commissioner.
This is Brant Capel, and I'm running to be your next Chelan County Commissioner. I'd be grateful for your vote.
Paid for by the committee to elect Brant Capel, Republican.
Check out clubcrowcashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
The Wenatchee Police Department is circulating a photo of a man suspected of stealing a bike recently from outside the Bruce Transitional Housing facility on Palouse Street. Police suspect the man used an angle grinder to cut the locking device on that bike. The theft was first reported last Thursday afternoon. Anyone with information on the man or the crime is asked to contact the Rivercong non-emergency line. That's 509-663-9911. The state has announced changes to cougar hunting seasons and has decided to keep the state listing of gray wolves unchanged. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife met virtually on July 19th and established a new rule that marks the state cougar hunting season from September 1st to March 31st, with a maximum limit of 13% on each population management unit within a specific statewide density, including all known human-caused cougar mortality. In PMUs, that reaches the 13% prior to the start of the hunting season, the limit will be increased to 20%. At the meeting, the commission also decided against a staff recommendation to reclassify gray wolves as a protected state species. Gray wolves will remain listed as endangered in Washington. The Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery said water in the Icicle Creek has reached the point where it's too low for floating. The hatchery put up signs this week advising would-be floaters that the popular creek is no longer a suitable option for cooling off from the summer heat. They instead recommend using the boat launch on the Wenatchee River at 8801 Icicle Road. The hatchery said the city of Leavenworth offers a free shuttle to the launch spot. Coming up next, Katie Schaefer says she can bring a record of fiscal responsibility to Douglas County if she's elected its newest commissioner this year. We'll have more on that up next in tonight's feature story. Weather conditions over the next couple of days will create critical fire danger around our area. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Let your voice be heard. I'm former Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett, and I'd like to be your District 12 State Representative in Olympia. With my extensive experience in law enforcement, I'm eager to serve you to ensure your community and neighborhood public safety. I intend to safeguard and improve your quality of life. I support your private property rights, lowering your tax burden, helping small business to thrive, fiscal responsibility, and your public safety.
Paid for by the committee to elect Brian Burnett for State Representative.
I want you to know where I stand on abortion. As governor, I will not change Washington law on this issue because I do not believe any politician, regardless of personal belief, has the right to make that decision for any woman. My opponent, Bob Ferguson, is trying to spread fear by saying things that I don't believe and will not do.
In tonight's features story, Katie Schaefer says she can bring a record of fiscal responsibility to Douglas County if she's elected its newest commissioner this year. Schaefer is among 5 candidates running to replace Commissioner Kyle Steinberg, who will leave office at year's end after 2 4-year terms. She lives in the county seat of Waterville and works for Umpqua Bank, where she oversees branches in her hometown as well as Oroville and Brewster. Schaefer, running as a Republican, is also a commissioner for Douglas County Hospital District 2, which oversees the Waterville Clinic as well as the local ambulance service.
I am a Washingtonian. I am born and bred from Bellingham originally. I have been in Douglas County since 2010, so 14 years. I currently manage 3 bank locations, and I also am a county hospital district commissioner and have been doing that for approximately about 12 years.
Tell me about the hospital district in Waterville. It oversees the clinic, is that right?
True. It oversees the clinic and the Waterville ambulance, so our local clinic and ambulance.
What do you think working in banking, Katie, has taught you that you could apply if you were elected to become a Douglas County commissioner?
Budgets. A lot of budgets. Staying true to your financial capabilities is really, really important. I'm given an annual budget for 3 different locations. I get monthly balance sheets that cover where we sit year to date, and that covers everything that you can possibly think of, from staffing and our allotment on that, to also anything that we're spending, lunches out even, anything you can think of, I've got to keep an eye on.
And so you think when the different departments are coming to the county commissioners saying, we ran out of money for this or we need money for that project, that puts you in a good position to understand the needs?
It puts me in a good position, but probably what I would say is my time as hospital district commissioner puts me in a better position, because we supply a budget ourselves every October. that we send up to the county, and we try to adhere to that budget. And I have always taken it very seriously, considering it's taxpayers' dollars.
And the hospital district, we should also mention, does have levies that it needs to get passed. It's publicly funded, and so you're involved with the creation of those levies, formulating them, getting them to the ballot, seeing what the voters say.
Very true. Recently, this past year, well, it went on for about 3 years total, but we were able to see the completion in this last year of our new ambulance building, and I worked hand in hand with our current commissioners to fund that.
And so when you look at Douglas County and at the issues that are facing it right now, are there particular ones that you want to tackle? Are there particular areas that you think you could bring your expertise to?
I think that we are experiencing a huge amount of growth, not just in our residential growth, obviously, but in our large corporations that are coming into the county. And with that is going to bring an influx of people. It's going to bring all sorts of things that possibly, if we're not careful, the county really needs to think forward and be prepared.
Do you have concerns about meeting the kinds of housing demands that Douglas County might see in the future and balancing that with keeping rural character or with conserving some open space?
100%. That's a very real message that you're speaking right now, because I sit in a very rural town, and I love my rural town, and I love my farmers, and we're pretty landlocked as we sit. So East Wenatchee, of course, is seeing growth. We're seeing growth up Grant Road. We're probably going to be seeing some more growth out the way of Baker Flats area. And probably up Badger Mountain, but we also tend to run into farms up Badger Mountain, so we'll have to see and weigh that.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast, and I hope you had a great Tuesday. Boy, it was a beautiful one out there today. A lot less smoke and hazy air, not too much wind. Last night was terrible, and our temperatures today much more comfortable. And what a beautiful shot looking out our weather window from this afternoon and taking a look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Sky-Fi Tower camera up on Wenatchee Heights. And we do have critical fire weather to talk about over the next couple of days, and this is for Wednesday and Thursday. Low relative humidity between 15 and 25%, and the winds are going to pick up starting tomorrow and into Thursday. I think we'll see our windiest days tomorrow with gusts as high as 25 to 40 miles an hour. Any fire out there very capable of spreading rapidly under those conditions, so be extra careful over the next 2 days. As I mentioned, a nice one out there today. Unofficially, our high temperature, 88 degrees. And believe it or not, after 18 days of 95 or above, we were slightly below normal today. Our normal high is 90 degrees, 107 our record high, and that was set in 2006. This morning, 63, and that's right in line with where we should be. And boy, that felt great out there this morning. 49 our record low, set in 1963. Sunrise this morning, 5:29, and it sets tonight at 8:45. Getting in now to those Wednesday temperatures. They are going to be warmer than today. 94s for Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. Columbia Basin, one of our warmer spots. Omak at 95. The rest of us from Ellensburg up into Chelan, basically lower 90s. Wenatchee, we will be 92 tomorrow. Leavenworth 90. Lake Wenatchee, the high temperature tomorrow of 87 degrees. So temperatures are quote unquote back to normal. Tonight, clear skies. It's still influenced by this large area of high pressure out in the Pacific. It will be mild with lows tonight in the low to mid 60s. So once again, might be a good night to maybe open those windows up. For Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, but there are those windy conditions, especially in the afternoon tomorrow. Gonna be warm, above normal tomorrow with highs in the low 90s. And then as we move you into Thursday, things will be cooler. Mostly sunny, Lots of wind right here in central Washington tomorrow. Trough of low pressure to our east, high pressure to our west. A lot cooler with highs on Thursday only in the low 80s. We could be about 8 degrees below normal on Thursday. And then for Friday, lots of clear skies out there, sunny, less wind. We will see highs should be beautiful on Friday into those mid 80s in the afternoon. Getting you into the upcoming weekend now, mostly sunny skies. There is still that anchoring high pressure out in the Pacific. Could see a breezy condition or two on Saturday. I don't think anything steady with high temperatures. Seasonal, right about 90 degrees on Saturday. On Sunday, mostly sunny skies. We're going to warm up a little bit. High temperatures to end our weekend into the low 90s. Folks, it should be a gorgeous weekend coming up. And then as we kick off our next work week on Monday, mostly sunny skies. Once again, could be a little bit breezy with that trough staying to our east. We'll see high temperatures, though, still warm into the low 90s. All right, your 7-day forecast now. And 63 overnight tonight, 92 tomorrow, maybe a little bit breezy in the afternoon on Wednesday, 61 our low. And then look what happens on Thursday. Mostly sunny, windy, only 82 degrees for our high temperature. And look at that overnight low, 56 degrees for Thursday, and then it's going to warm up once again. Sunny and warm Friday, 86, upper 80s to low 90s for the upcoming weekend. Should be a nice one, and we're going to stay nice on Monday with mostly sunny skies, high temperatures of 92. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Mary Maids, let us help.
Well, a good Tuesday to you. It is not a good day in Mudville. A miserable stretch of baseball for the Mariners continued last night as the same theme reared its ugly head in a 3-1 loss to the Angels. See if this sounds familiar. Seattle's starting pitching was quality again last night, holding the opposition scoreless for 7 innings. Mariner offense managed just 1 run on 4 hits, 14 strikeouts. Mariner bullpen couldn't hold the lead late. This was all prevalent last night as Los Angeles beat Seattle by a final of 3-1.
Even at the bag at third is Rendon. Oh, that hit him and that hurt. Goodness gracious. That sounded bad. That's the last thing they need. Hopefully Julio will be back sooner rather than later. Now you got great defender and JP get hit on the wrist.
On this pitch going inside, he wanted that down and away.
Kept running in on him.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, man. Well, it looks like he's going to go to first.
Hands are kind of important in this game.
I would say so. It's his right hand, so we'll see if he can throw it when he gets back out of shortstop.
Gave up a home run to Ohtani. Straight away center field. Sink, ball sink. It does. JP being waved around, he'll score. Robles stops at second. Cal Raleigh ringing the bell early on. It's 1-0 Mariners. His 62nd run batted in.
And he hits a fly ball, left center field. It's hit pretty well. Robles is back out for it near the warning track. He makes the catch. Tagging from third and scoring is Adele. Rendon advances to third. The game is tied. Taylor Ward with a long sac fly, and it's 1-1.
Boy, a little bit earlier in the day, that ball might have had a shot at getting out.
He has Drury at second base, the go-ahead run. Neto is at first. And Adele lines one up the middle. That's a base hit. It's into center field. Drury's on his way home. Robles double clutches. Throw to the plate, not in time. Drury scores. Now the ball gets away. Here comes Neto. He scores. Adele goes to third. Another big hit for Joe Adele against the Mariners. And the Halos have the lead.
That was a rocket. Up the middle, 112 off the bat.
Well, the Mariners won the first 4 games these two teams played this season, including those 3 here at T-Mobile Park. The Angels trying to win the 4 right back. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Say goodnight to the Mariners. Carlos Estevez with Kamehameha after a 1-2-3 inning. And these Mariner fans aren't happy right now as the Angels steal one in Seattle.
Well, Joe Adell and the Angels are, I know that. What a job by Joe Adell. 112 off the bat. The game-winning hit.
Manager Scott Servais finally showed his frustration in his post-game interview, saying this was another example of Seattle just giving one away.
Another way to put it, that was brutal. Brutal ending that ball game. I don't want to lose sight of what Bryce Miller did. He pitched a heck of a game for us to give us a chance in the ball game, as good as he's been, really at any point all year. So I tip my hat to him and the effort he gave us to keep them off the scoreboard. Obviously, we got a little something going early, and that was it. So, and then we gifted them the game there at the end, walking some guys, and then they finally got a big hit. So update on JP. JP has in his right pinky where he got hit in that first at bat. There's a little hairline fracture there. We'll know more, once a specialist looks at it and go from there. So, again, no way to sugarcoat it. Just handed them a ball game tonight, and in a situation we're in, every game's really important. So disappointed. Our guys usually make plays at the end of the game, throw strikes. We didn't do that tonight, and obviously it cost us the game.
You've shown a lot of patience with what you've seen. Why tonight?
Because I'm tired of watching it. Stand up for our guys, believe in them. Some nights, that's not Major League Baseball. We handed them a game. It all depends where we want to be 60 days or 60 games from now. Want to be playing playoff baseball, you want to be driving home. 60 games. Talk about being a marathon. It's getting to be close to a sprint. Not quite there yet. We're getting close. So 60 games. You got to show up and compete. Go ready to take it every night. And if you don't, this league doesn't care. They'll just walk on by you. That's where we're at. So, everybody has to step up. That's where we're at. And I thought, yesterday's game, we competed very well. We got after it. Didn't show up. Didn't happen tonight. And that's inexcusable, and just gifted the game away.
As a team, the Mariners have struck out a league-leading 1,052 times this season. That's nearly 100 more than the next worst team at striking out, the Oakland A's. Two teams play again tonight at 6:40 on Brute Sports Northwest. Well, Oakland helped the Mariners last night by shutting out the Astros 4-0. That keeps Seattle and Houston in a virtual tie for first place in American League West. Texas closed the gap to 4 games with a 4-3 10-inning win against the White Sox. The Apple Sox are back in action tonight in West Coast League play. The Kamloops Northpaws come to town for a 6:35 game. Two teams played north of the border about a month ago. Wenatchee sweeping all 3 games, outscoring the Northpaws 30-8 in those 3 games. Quincy Vassar will get the start for Wenatchee tonight against Kamloops Sawyer Jensen. NCWLIFE will broadcast tonight's game live with a pregame starting at 6:30. There were 2 games in the West Coast League last night. Victoria stopped Port Angeles 7-1. Edmonton edged Nanaimo 5-4. With the Lefties and Night Owls both losing last night, Wenatchee's lead in the WCL North is a game and a half coming into tonight. Bellingham remains 2 games back, while Kelowna and Edmonton are 2.5 games back. Kamloops comes into town with a 5-8 record in the second half. They're 12-27 overall on the season. Well, a Wenatchee great-grandma continues to be an inspiration to the world of health and fitness. We're talking about Maggie Rivera. She grew up in Quincy and now lives in Wenatchee. She recently won a bodybuilding competition in New Jersey at the age of 62.
I have been into fitness for all my life. I played high school sports, and then I just continued running and going to the gym. And then about my 50th birthday, I wanted to do something different. I was working out with a friend that actually already did a bodybuilding show, and she's like, hey, I've done that. So we got with Chance Harris, who was my trainer at the time, and well, he still is. And I told him this is something I wanted to do, and he's like, let's do it.
Rivera highly encourages women to get into some sort of physical fitness routine because the benefits are manyfold. Her next competition will most likely be in September. How about Maggie? That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.
I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great night.